What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles in the Open Great League running a nuke charge move on Mew that no one will see coming, and that's Blizzard. The thinking behind this team was that I have a Noctowl counter in the lead in the form of Sudowoodo, so if I have a bad lead, Mew safe swap should then bait out the Noctowl so they keep it away from the Sudowoodo. Plus, Noctowl does double resist Shadow Claws, so it's usually a positive matchup even though Mews typically carry Wild Charge. Unfortunately, not a single Noctowl swapped into my Mew. I was met with a lot of Umbreon, a lot of Licky Tongue, but unfortunately no Noctowl. But even then, I was still able to nuke a bunch of Pokemon that were not expecting to see a Blizzard. Also, if you're wondering about the Sudowoodo moveset, I had no TMs when I started the first set, so initially I was running Rock Tomb as that's what I already had, and then after a couple sets I got a TM, I got Stone Edge, and then after a couple more sets I finally got Meteor Beam. The battles are in a bit of a random order, so it might look like I keep on fluctuating, changing the moveset after every battle, but that was not the case. With that being said, let's get into the question of the day. If I were to make another video using Mew in the Great League, which surprise moveset should I run and which meta Pokemon would it target? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead into a Medicham, so obviously going to safe swap into my shiny Mew. The opponent's staying in initially, and then they eventually swap into Diggersby. Now, Diggersby is very bulky and a normal type, so unfortunately a non-stab Blizzard wouldn't quite take them out, and I wouldn't be able to farm them down either. So I go for a Flame Charge first, they go for an Earthquake, we still make it to a Blizzard in time, we've boosted our attack, and Blizzard takes out the Diggersby, we flip switch advantage, and Blizzard is certainly paying off so far. The opponent comes in with Medicham, we've aligned it to our Shadow Sableye. I can safely let the first charge move go through, just an Ice Punch. They now come in with their Noctowl, and this is looking like a good game already. We can safely let the first move go through. They do full send the Shadow Ball, but it doesn't matter. I can go for a Rock Slide here, and even if they try to farm me down, I will be able to make it to 2 more Rock Slides. The opponent gonna throw just before I make it to a second Rock Slide. Very good timing. I shield up the Sky Attack, that's absolutely fine. Gonna go for my own Rock Slide just before they make it to another charge move, and if they go for the farm down, I will make it to one final Rock Slide. This will be enough to take out the Noctowl, and at that point it is gonna be game over. The opponent realizes that and they concede the match. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see an Altaria in the lead. The opponent is actually going to stay in initially. If we get to a Rock Slide, that will do big damage, but the opponent now swaps into a Registeel. Even though this is resisted, these counters are really chunking, and of course I can just safely shield this charge move and get off a lot of more counter damage here. Going to shield up the Focus Bars, and now I'm going to put them into range where they're actually in Shadow Claw farm down range. And after this massive farm down, I'm going to come out of this matchup with a Blizzard loaded, and I think you guys already know what's going to happen. We're going to go for the Blizzard. They come back in with Altaria, and Blizzard one-shots the Altaria. They come in with Medicham, and once again that's going to be game over because I've got it aligned to my Shadow Sableye in the back. We grab the shield from the opponent, going to wait out my switch clock. I'm actually going to come in with my Sudowoodo first, go for the Stone Edge. It's resisted. I don't expect a shield, but that's fine. I can now come in with the Sableye. The opponent is going to stop attacking and then eventually concede the match. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Vigoroth in the lead. It's a pretty neutral matchup. We are both doing non-stab counter damage, but super effective, but they go for a Body Slam, which is resisted, so I'm going to come in with my Mew. The opponent's not swapping out. They're going to go for another Body Slam. That's fine. I can let this go through, and eventually the opponent will swap, and they swap into a Mandibuzz. Another matchup where we can go for the Blizzard. And unfortunately, once again, Mandibuzz is extremely bulky, so Blizzard doesn't quite take them out, and they do get to a charge move just before I reach a Flame Charge, but they are running Air Slash, so I should be able to fully counter farm them down before they make it to another charge move. So I'm going to come back in with the Sudowoodo, get the counter farm down. The opponent's going to come back in with Vigoroth. We go straight for a Rock Slide. This should be enough to take them out, and they've got a Medicham in the back once again, and another instant quit once they see the Shadow Sableye. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Galarian Weezing. Not great because they double resist counter. They swap into a Shadow Flygon. Now, this is a very interesting pick. The opponent going to go for a Stone Edge, and now I'm realizing this might just be my team that I made with the Shadow Flygon with Stone Edge. We go for a Blizzard. We one-shot them there, and this is already a pretty hectic battle. I'm now going to come in with my Sudowoodo, thinking it's probably going to be a Haxorus in the back, or at least, I mean, if they are fully copying my team, then it should be a Haxorus. They go for a Brutal Swing here, of course. If they went for an Overheat, that would be resisted, so I knew I would tank that very comfortably. And the opponent will easily outpace me to these charge moves, so I'm going to shield here, and at this point, I think I might be able to live this move, and I did receive the energy to throw a Rock Slide. I go for it, but they swap, and it's not a Haxorus, it's actually a Vigoroth, which is a bit more annoying because I won't be able to just simply Shadow Claw farm them down as it is double resisted. I have to go for a Foul Play. I throw just before they make it to a Bulldoze, but now it's a race who can get to the back-to-back charge moves first. We're going to shield up the first Brutal Swing here. And now, can we get to the back-to-back Foul Plays in time? We get there in time. And now, do they have the energy for a Brutal Swing? We go for it. It's a CMP tie. And unfortunately, we lose the CMP tie. Brutal Swing takes us out. And the opponent does win that game there. So, GG's, very well played. And I do very much appreciate that they're running my old team. Especially since it's a very spicy team. Of course, not running the Haxorus, but my guess is that they just don't have it. But very cool. And into this next battle, we stay in initially, counter 8, swap and catch the Earthquake onto Mew. They come in with Water Gun Lantern, which is not ideal because we only have resisted charge moves. But the great thing about Mew is that the opponents have no idea what you're running, and we actually grab a shield there. So that's absolutely huge, and we come in with Sudowoodo. You might think that's weird, but honestly, the charge move damage will go to waste up against the Stunfisk, so I might as well go for a Meteor Beam up against Lantern. That does so much damage, boosts our attack, and we get the farm down. They come back in with Galarian Stunfisk, and at this point, I'm just going to shield and fully farm them down, expecting a Noctowl in the back. We get the farm down, we have so much energy loaded, we go for a Rock Slide, it is a Noctowl in the back, we grab the shield, and now we can go for a Meteor Beam, and guess how much damage this does to Noctowl? It one-shots them, and we boost our attack, and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, another Medicham in the lead. Gonna say swap into Mew. The opponent responds with Umbreon, and unfortunately I saw this quite a lot. Not sure where this Umbreon resurgence has come from, but it kind of ruined my plans. Maybe if I was running Focus Blast, this team comp would have made, or would have done a lot better up against what I was seeing, but we boost our attack, and now we can go for a Blizzard. But the opponent shields it up, and that is really unfortunate, but the weird thing is that a Blizzard still wouldn't even come anywhere close to taking out Umbreon there, so it doesn't really matter that they shielded. I'm now going to come in with my Sudowoodo. They are back-to-back charge moves already. Going to let both moves go through, and unfortunately, going to go for a Rock Slide here. I still don't think this will take them out. Umbreon is just so bulky, and it doesn't take them out, and they're already at another charge move. So at this point, I should just fully sacrifice the Sudowoodo, come in, get a farm down with my Sableye, and the opponent's going to come in with their Medicham initially, making me think that they might be weak to Sableye in the back. So I'm actually going to go for the Foul Play. They let it go through, and I'm actually going to respect the damage here. Go for a shield. It's an Ice Punch, of course, and now they have Noctowl in the back. And yeah, I was wrong. They were just kind of giving me a false sense of hope there. I go for a Power Gem, it gets shielded, and at this point it's game over. I'm not going to make it to another Power Gem in time, so I will just let the Sky Attack go through. It takes me out, and we do lose that game. But GG's to that opponent. Into the next battle, we see another Medicham in the lead, and we're going to say swap into the Mew, and this time we see an Alola Ninetales come in, so that's a little bit different here. We are going to shield up. No, we're actually going to let the first move go through, and that's fine. And they will make it to another charge move, and I'm going to shield this just because I know I will be able to grab both shields from my opponent, and this could be deadly with all shields down. So we go for the flame charge, grabbing a shield from the opponent, and now I can come in with my Sudowoodo, go for a counter farm down. They're probably going to make it to a Dazzling Gleam. I don't really want to shield my Sudowoodo, and they do get to the Dazzling Gleam, but then they swap out. They give up switch advantage, and I've got my Shadow Sableye, and this is looking great. They're also running Power Up Punch, Punch and not Ice Punch, so this makes it a lot more comfortable for me. I can let the second Power Punch go through, farm to nearly 100 energy. I've got back-to-back foul plays loaded already, and this will be enough to take out the Medicham, and the opponent is going to be running a Noctowl in the back, so I'm going to go for that Power Gem straight away, and now all I have to do is be wary of a catch. So gonna make sure I don't throw straight away. The opponent overfarms, they swap out, trying to catch. We now have the energy for another Power Gem, and Power Gem takes out the Noctowl, and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see a Swampert in the lead. Not a great lead, so we're going to swap out into our Mew and another Umbreon, unfortunately. So that's not great for us. Gonna let this move go through, and foul play won't take us out, and it won't even put us into range where they can comfortably farm us down. So I'm gonna go for a Blizzard, and you will now see that Blizzard only does about 45% of their health, which is kind of crazy. We're gonna let this move go through. That's great that they do expend their energy there. They probably actually could have farmed us down, but that's fine. I'm not gonna complain. They're gonna go for a foul play, and I'm gonna commit to the full counter farm down. So they will unfortunately make it to a second foul play here, but I'm going to come out with a lot of loaded energy. Going to swap instantly into my Shadow Sableye. They've got a Shadow, a Alolan Grimer, so very spicy. Going to shield up a Crunch, and unfortunately they get the debuff there, which is not great. We're now going to go for a foul play, and foul play grabs a shield from the opponent, and now I don't think I got my fast move through there. That was kind of strange. I definitely didn't throw my charge move there, and they get another debuff, so that is really unfortunate. Gonna go for a foul play, and that doesn't quite take them out. We come out with a charge move loaded. We swap instantly into Sudowoodo, hoping to get off back-to-back rock sides. We get off the first, and we get to a second, and winning CMP as well. And that might just put them into range where foul play will take out the Swampert. It's going to be incredibly close. We go for the foul play. Is this enough damage to take them out? No, it's not, but we lived the mud shot, and then it's a simultaneous KO. So unfortunately, if we'd have thrown one Shadow Claw first and then went for the foul play, we could have won that game. Or if the Grimer didn't get two debuffs, or if we got our fast move through up against the Grimer as well, all of those things would have given us a win, but unfortunately we have to settle for a tie. But into the next battle, we see Galvantula in the lead. Gonna go for a Rock Slide and then swap into my Mew. I know they're gonna go for a lunge here, and I will have to shield, but honestly, my Sudowoodo was already pretty low after that. Discharge went through, and now we're going to go for a Flame Charge up against this Frostlass, and Flame Charge does do some decent damage, boosting our attack up to normal, and they go for an Avalanche. It doesn't quite take us out. We get to a Flame Charge there, but for some reason we don't get it off. But honestly, this might be better for us, as I can come in with my Shadow Sableye, get a small energy advantage, and they've got a Chestnut in the back, so I'm going to swap instantly, catching the Frenzy Plant onto my Sudowoodo. And that does, of course, take us out. Even if they fully undercharged that, it still would take out a Sudowoodo. We're going to go for a foul play, and that is resisted, but it should put them into range where I can fully farm them down. So they go for a superpower, they swap into Galvantula, we go for a foul play, and we're one away from the next foul play, so we will be able to get off a second charge move just in time before they make it to their own charge move. And we're able to take out the Galvantula, get the farm down up against the Chestnut, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, another Medicham in the lead. I saw a ton of Medicham in the lead. Gonna swap, and we see a Licky Tongue, and that's not great. So if I was running something like Focus Blast, maybe this team would have worked a lot better for me. But yeah, just wasn't getting the Noctowl bait outs that I was hoping to get, which is a bit annoying. I actually didn't see that many Noctowl, in all honesty. We're going to go for a second Flame Charge here, as I don't think I would have made it to a Blizzard in time. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have made it to the Blizzard. And now they are in range where I will be able to counter farm them down, but I will have to tank a Power Whip. So I am going to let it go through. Power Whip does big damage, and honestly they might even make it to a Body Slam. They do make it, and that is unfortunate. I just have to let Sudowoodo go down, and I have to hope Sableye can sweep, but I know it's going to be a Bastiodon in the back, and yeah, this is just not a matchup that I can win. Gonna go for the foul play. I will play it out just to see how close it does get, and the opponent does shield their Bastiodon. They realize that they need to keep this away from the Medicham at all costs, so they're going to double shield their Bastiodon, which is not something most people do, but Foul Play does get shielded, and I still need 2 more Foul Plays to land. They swap into Medicham for some reason. For some reason I shield this. It's game over. What am I doing? I'm wasting my own time, and yeah, I do eventually concede the match there, so GG's to that opponent. But into the next battle, we see Dugong in the lead. Not a super common lead these days. They swap into Azumarill, and then I realise, wow, this whole team gets smacked by Azumarill. It's a good thing Azumarill isn't anywhere near as common as it used to be, but the great thing about Mew is that opponents have no idea what we're running, and they do actually shield the first charge move, which is very interesting. And now we've boosted our attack, we could be running anything as our second move. This is going to be even more threatening, and we grab both shields, throwing on CMP once again. So even though Mew could do absolutely nothing in this matchup, we've actually got a 2 shield advantage, which is huge. We're now going to come in with Sableye, and it's great that we've got this shield advantage because Sableye absolutely needs shields up against an Azumarill. So they go for the Play Rough, and now they swap back into the Dugong. We're going to go for the Rock Tomb. It does big damage. We swap into our Sudowoodo, hoping to get a farm down, but they do get to a charge move. They're actually running Aqua Jet, so probably a triple legacy Dugong. And we get the farm down. They come back in with Azu. We're going to go for 2 counters, go for a Stone Edge. Stone Edge takes out the Azumarill, and they have got an Alolan Marowak in the back. So going to go for another Stone Edge, and Stone Edge doesn't quite take them out here, but they're going to have to throw their energy, and I can safely no shield, come in with my Shadow Sableye, get the farm down, and take that game. So GG's to my opponent there. And into the next battle, we're going to see a Galarian Stunfisk in the lead. So once again, going to counter 8 and then swap into my shiny Mew to catch the potential Earthquake. If they bait me, I don't really care. And the opponent does full send the Earthquake. They now swap into Noctowl, but we're at such a massive health disadvantage that we're not going to be able to get to the Blizzard. I really wanted to land just 1 Blizzard up against Noctowl, so I will send it here. They can survive a wild charge, but they shield, and that was literally the one thing I wanted from this video, was just to land 1 Blizzard up against Noctowl. Unfortunately, we don't get it, and I think we are running Stone Edge here and not Meteor Beam, so that doesn't quite take them out, which is really unfortunate. They go for a Shadow Ball, we will be able to counter farm them down, and the opponent's going to come in with Alolan Ninetales, and then they catch the Rock Slide perfectly onto Galarian Stunfisk. Great play, and that's basically going to win them the game here. I'm hoping that they're in range where I can fully farm them down, but they're going to make it to 2 Rock Slides here. And so it's not the best situation, because I'm going to have to shield this up, and now I can't, even at 100 energy, have a Foul Play and a Rock Tomb loaded. And I know Ninetales is just 1 Powder Snow away from their Weather Ball, so we go for the Foul Play, and they're at the Weather Ball there. Can't get to a Rock Tomb in time, and this Weather Ball will take me out, and they can Powder Snow, farm down my Sudowoodo, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent, and into the final battle, we see a Noctowl in the lead, so a pretty good lead for us, of course. We wanted to bait out the Noctowl, but we'll definitely take it in the lead. The opponent's going to go straight for a Shadow Ball, and it does connect. They now swap into Defense Form Deoxys, so at the moment we are just hard countering their team, which is absolutely fine by me. They go for a Thunderbolt, and we will have to go for a Foul Play here. And I don't think at this range we would even tank a Psycho Boost, so I will throw on the CMP tie. They let it go down, and I will be able to make it to a Power Gem in time. Wouldn't make it to back-to-back Foul Plays, so no point in baiting here. We grab a shield from the opponent, and we do have enough energy to go for a charge move straight away. So we go for the Rock Tomb, and unfortunately, once again, Rock Tomb just isn't Meteor Beam, so it won't take them out here. We do debuff their attack, but they're still going to be able to take me out with a Shadow Ball here. Going to put it all on my Mew, and they've got Lantern in the back, and that was kind of a dumb decision here because we've only got resisted charge moves to throw. The opponent, rightly so, does no shield the first charge move, because if I was running Wild Charge, I certainly wouldn't throw it straight away. So maybe that's a bit of a misplay by me, but also I do need to bump up my attack as soon as possible, because we only have resisted charge moves to throw, and at this point I'm not going to throw any more moves. I'm just going to try and commit to a full Shadow Claw farm down. So the opponent does go for a charge move here. I'm really hoping I can get the farm down before they make it to a final Surf. They actually swap into Noctowl here, and I'm able to get the farm down and take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. Unfortunately, the video didn't quite pan out the way I wanted it to, with my Mew not able to bait out a single Noctowl and land that Blizzard, but that's just how it goes sometimes. I was still able to get some very entertaining battles, so if you did enjoy today's video, then make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And as for my answer, based on just these battles, I think Focus Blast is probably the best option, as I did bait out quite a lot of Pokemon weak to the fighting typing. But if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.